Comedy store all day, every day. If you hear this guy, man, he never stops making you laugh. He started with the lights. Where we're standing, we have like 4 lights looking at us, but he feels they are not enough to look at him. How are you?
Adeku, I'm good. Good to see you, bro.
Good to see you.
You know, I talked about the lights because recently I've been going into movies and what? Mm-hmm. And the people who set the light, they use us to determine if the light is enough.
Yes. Wow.
Yeah. So
but
like
today it's enough, I think.
It's enough, Yes. But next time if you can add like 2 more. Just.
How are you, Dr. Hilary?
I'm good. Good to see you, bro.
You have been everywhere, man. Good to have you, by the way, because I know you're a very rare person to get.
We are trying to push, man. Yeah. You know the game, you know the hustle, you know what it means to build a brand from scratch, to push yourself to a certain level. Yeah. You know the challenges that come with writing content, churning out new content, and, you know, making people who already love you even love you more. Yeah. It's not easy because you can be funny this month, the next month they say,
where did you show up from? Because all of a sudden, boom, after COVID, you know, of course, I knew you before, but as in, everyone would want to know, where was this guy before? Yeah.
I think the challenge is at the time we didn't have enough shows on TV, and that's why personally I appreciate Comedy Store a lot.
Thank you.
Because it's one of the platforms that also gave me a name and put me out there. Mm-hmm. It's not enough to just be a comedian like who is known by friends and family. You know, not the things of gatherings. Your family say, no, you will MC. You are very good. Then you're only funny in your village. But at least when you have platforms like Comedy Store, even shows that also Salvador has done, I've been a part of them. Yeah. So everyone putting up the industry of comedy, you start appearing, and people start with now the social media world. It's easy to put your brand out there on social media.
So the same question of where you from, as in like who is Dr. Hilary? Like quickly, where did you go to school? To like how did you come into the industry? Like who did you look up to? And then you went somewhere, like the whole journey. I'm sure there's someone who looks up to you, because we don't have a lot of English comics, by the way. But there's guys who look up to us from senior 1,
and they want to be
like us, but by the time they reach like senior 6, they're like, naika to Uganda, you know. Your story.
So for me, comedy, I actually started comedy in school.
Mm-hmm. Which school was it?
That's Ginger College. When I was in my senior 2. And we used to have, I don't know if you guys had this thing where their students would read news on assembly. So I used that as a platform to perform.
Okay.
So I joined the news guys, and for me I would just write stories about what happened. You know, if there was a prom or a football match, sports day, I would write jokes about that. So when they're done reading the news, I'd come on stage and just say, now we had sports day last week, so and so entered the field, but his leg was looking like cassava. Then people laugh. So that is how I started getting the confidence of performing in front of people. Then when I finished, that is high school, I went to university. I went to Clark International University to do my, I did clinical medicine. And when I was still at school, that's when I tried. I also called you some time back because, you know, the numbers are on platforms. So you call Salvador, you call. Then I'm like, no, you go to, the person that actually directed me was Napoleon. I called Napoleon. At the time, Laughters was still on. So he told me, you know, come to Laughters, let's meet at Centenary Park. I met him. I was still at campus, so I ran out of classes. I came and met him. And you know celebs, they tell you, be here by 5. Then he came at 8:30. So I waited for the man, but I met him, and it was a great encounter. So then I joined Punchliners. Then I joined Comedy Files, then Comedy Store. So I think it's just a matter of persistence and, you know, loving the game.
I like what you're doing. I've seen you travel to Kenya, to Rwanda, to Congo, to where. So where do you see yourself headed now? Like, where do you feel like, I think my journey is going this way?
I think, personally, one of my goals is to be one of the best stand-up comedians from Africa. Because I feel like, as Africans, our story is always mishandled. You'll find comedians in the West, I mean, like New York or the US or England or wherever. They do jokes about Africans, and they always make it sound like we are backward. You know, they always say, you know, I went to Africa last week, and, you know, a lion passed in the middle of the road. So they always paint a different picture for us. And one of our, I think, core jobs and work as comedians is to tell our story. So being one of the best comedians out of Africa, I want to be able to tell stories, African stories, to the rest of the world. So next 5 years, that is the goal, and God willing, we shall get there.
I've noticed, like the last time when were you in Gulu or Lira when I came to your show?
That was Gulu.
That was Gulu. So your set had brand new jokes. Jokes that I hadn't heard about, the triangle, the what, all those jokes were. and I've not seen you do those jokes elsewhere.
Yeah.
For me, when I was doing stand-up, we had that challenge. You'd write a joke today, and tomorrow everyone has changed it by the same joke, or they're doing it, they've washed it, or they're doing it better than you.
Yes.
So how do you keep writing? How do you keep looking fresh all the time? Because I know it's very hard. What keeps you going?
I think, of course, the biggest fear that most comedians have is, I've done a joke, somebody might do it as well. And I've had it. I've seen, there's a lot of people who tag me on TikTok. They see a joke by some comedian and then they tag you. They're like, this is Hilary's joke. So you just come and watch it and you see them butcher it. They've just spoiled the joke. But I always believe that the same brain that wrote that joke can write another one. So I just take it lightly and just try to write new things. I feel like we have too many experiences that we face in life. We can't really run out of material. You always write about, you get a child, you write about a child. You buy a car, you write about cars. Everything you face in life, like the jokes I did today, I actually went to URA to work on my team. And it is a Muhangi who connected me. And I'm here telling people and they're laughing and they think I'm lying. So you cannot
write them
as long as yes, the jokes sometimes just come to you and you'll always write them.
Listen, so what are those challenges that you faced to, like from when you joined up to like who you are today?
I think there's very little support for artists, and I'm talking specifically stand-up comedians.
Support from where?
Support from government. From the government, even the family. Even the family. Even the family. You know, it's one
show
of
you respect.
No.
Respect is different from support. Your family might not pay the ticket, but they feel like, our boy is doing.
No, I'm talking about, like, especially when you're starting. When you're starting, it's not one of those careers that is praised. It's shunned upon. Now, if a person like me who did medicine and then you're doing stand-up, there are a lot of people who, in the beginning,
they were giving you transport. You go. Now you tell them I have the show. Truck.
But that's the point. What I'm happy about is today my family really supports me all through, and I would just like to send I say special regards to my family, and also anyone out there who probably has a child or a son or a daughter who wants to join stand-up comedy. It is not a bad art form. Don't be deceived by comedians who probably do vulgar comedy and things that are a bit disrespectful. You can always have someone come on and perform. Me, I've performed in front of my parents and they're very happy because they don't really mind, because they know the content you're doing is clean.
Lack of support, that's one. Two,
lack of support. Another challenge is the audiences. You've been in the game long enough to know that today's audience is not tomorrow's audience. People change. So there are shows you'll do and things will land flat. You know, there are places you'll go to and you won't be as welcome. Not because you're not funny, but because the mood is different, the environment. Maybe even we have comedians who came to perform in Uganda from South Africa and the like, and their accent just doesn't work for the Ugandan audience. So it is things like that you need to adapt to, along the way. First of all, before I continue, I am very honest. Let us clap for the Banyankole in the house. I will tell you why. Madam, you're not clapping. Thank you. Listen, in Uganda, it is only Banyankole who have real connections. I will say it again in case you have missed it. In Uganda, it is only Banyankole who have real connections. When a Munyankole tells you, I know somebody, he knows somebody. Me, I'm telling you from personal experience. My friend, 4 months ago, I had issues with my team. Tax identification number. That's why I tell people, you have to have at least 3 Banyankole in your phone. You never know when you need to call Muhumuza. I had issues with my team. I checked my phone. I landed on Twinamasiko. I said, hey, this is my OB. I said, hey, Twinamasiko, how are you? They said, hey, long time, how are you doing? I said, I'm here, but I have issues with my team. These people of URA. I said, no, those are simple issues. Actually, I was there last week. You call this number. I said, who is that? He said, no, that is I know that I will help you. I went to URA. Listen, I went to URA with confidence. You see, when you have a connection, there's a way you're confident. I went to URA here, Kampala. When I reached outside, I saw people had lined up. In my heart, I was telling them, you are very stupid. This is Uganda. You are lining up. You need to know people. I entered. I called the number.
of Aino Mugisha. He picked to the guy. Hello, is this Okero? I said, yeah, we are outside. I don't know why Northerners we say we are outside, yet we are alone. We are outside here. He said, how many are you? No, I'm alone. I have the problem with my team. He said, hey, you are Okero. You are the one who said you are coming. Said, I am the one. He said, okay, no, just come to the first floor and call me. Madam, I went to the first floor. I didn't even call him. I found a lady waiting for me there. I was like, excuse me, you're Okero? I said, I am the one. He said, oh, sir, please take a seat. We're going to bring you something to drink. They brought for me tea. Government, have you ever tasted government tea? They brought government tea. They said, sir, do you want more? I said, bring a flask. They brought a flask. I drank my taxes. For 10 minutes, they worked on my tin. This lady came back to me with the 14 numbers. Said, sir, we have 4 numbers. Choose the one you want. I chose the one I wanted. That is how connections work. Now, listen carefully. I am from the north. Northerners, our connections sometimes don't connect. If a northerner tells you, I know somebody, you need to confirm who he knows. Last month, I had to go to Nira. I had problems with my name. They had misspelled Okelo with single L instead of double L. I asked my father, who is also from the north, I said, Muzei, do you know anyone at Nira? I said, hey, Okelo, there's an uncle of yours who is there. I said, which uncle? You go and call Opio. He will sort you. I said, Opio, what does he do? He's a very big person. You go. Then I told him, give me the number. He said, you have Airtel and MTN. Sometimes this Airtel is not. That should have been a sign. By the time they tell you, sometimes the Airtel is not there. But try MTN. I went to Nira here in Nakasero with a lot of confidence. Passed. Entered the gate. The moment I reached the gate, I called the number with confidence. 07554. Sorry, I was at the gate. 075. On the second, I had the phone ringing nearby. I'm at the gate. I had the phone ringing nearby. I said, this is not the correct number. I ended the call. I started again. 075. Hey, I skipped that 5. 5543. That is the phone came back. Before I could end the call, one askari came out running. Hello, you talk. I looked at him. I said, Afan. They said, you okay? I said, I'm not the one. He said, no, your father said you are coming. I said, but he said, you're a very big person. He said, hey, I'm a very big person. I said, what do you do? He said, I'm in management. I said, what do you manage? He said, I manage the visitors book. You sign in and enter. Up to now, my name is still with single L. You need to know the right people in this country. I remember in school we used to have a Munyankole called Muhumuza. This boy used to annoy me. He was 1, from a rich family. 2, he was clever. That is very unfair. Usually it is with the poor ones who are clever. And you who is rich, you are supposed to be stupid. That is the order of the day. But this boy was rich and he was clever. Me, Okelo, I am stupid and I'm poor. How will I say? I already have 2 goals before the game has started, the game of life. But the problem, this boy was very good at chemistry. You people listen, there is no subject I hated like chemistry practical. Do you know chemistry practical was the only exam, my friend, where you would follow everything step by step. Step by step, you follow the instruction and you still fail the paper. They would pair us. Our chemistry teacher would take us to the laboratory for chemistry practicals. And they pair us two people. Me and Opolot was from Soroti. They would pair us together. Then they give us all the instruments. Bunsen, burner, pipette, test tube, everything. Then you start reading the instruction. They say exams begin. Chemistry, you follow everything and you still fail the exam. You read the first part of the exam. Add solid Y. You check on the table where solid Y, you see solid Y is there. You throw it in the test tube. You read the second part. You're following carefully. Add solution X to the test tube. You look for solution X, or Polot says solution is there. You get solution X. You pour in the test tube. Then you read the third part. You are following everything. Shake vigorously. Now on vigorous, that's how you know someone is stupid. You know, people who are clever, they just shake lightly because he knows it's shaking simply to mix the solution. You who is stupid, you take the word vigorous serious. Vigorous. To call it vigorous, you know. You shake with energy, you turn it upside down, you shake. Then you come to the fourth part, you're following everything. They tell you, burn for 2 to 3 minutes. You put the fire. I tell Opolot, put the fire. He puts the fire. You start boiling. Now, as you're boiling, the solution is colorless. But as you're boiling, you see everyone boiling. Colorless. 2 minutes pass. You're like, Opolot, what's the time? We have 3 minutes. Okay. 3 minutes get over. You are now entering 4 minutes. You've followed everything carefully. Then from nowhere, you see blue. Opolo tells me, Hilary, I've seen blue. I have also seen. Now you start shaking with the energy. You're still on color, you start seeing blue. Now you're shaking. Now everyone has blue. You're still on colorless. Yet you followed everything. Now blue gets over, you start seeing green. You start shaking, you turn. I tell Opolo, add fire. He adds fire. Have you, my friend, have you ever boiled for so long until the solution gets over? Yours is still colorless. It gets over, you start mixing afresh. You add solid X, solution Y, you start shaking. Blue gets over, you start seeing green. Green starts, everyone green. You're still on colorless. Before you know it, yellow. You're now on 20 minutes. Yellow gets over, you see orange. Now on orange, that is when the teacher would walk in. Everybody put the test tubes down. We have colorless. Everyone has orange. That's when I knew a Muteso will survive in Uganda. Opolot saw me and said, Hilary, we are finished. I said, we have to survive. Said, this is the end of term. The teacher said, put your things down. Opolot said, Hilary, we have to do something. I said, what do we do? That's when I knew Opolot is very clever. He picked the test tube. He turned around, he urinated in the test tube, he brought it back. My friend, you know that early morning urine when you've just woken up? You've just woken up, it is concentrated, you have not eaten anything. Our test tube was the only one with smoke. Just Conk orange. Now, our teacher was, you know those teachers who like checking everyone's whatever, what you have done. She was walking around. I would like to see the best student, the best. Okay, let me see. Brian, there is some blue. I want concentrated orange. There is some blue. I'm looking for the best. This is who? Joanne, there is some yellow. I want orange. Just orange. I'm looking. As she was looking around, she landed on ours. I'm looking for concentrated. In my heart, I was saying, Jesus, we are finished. This one. So this one, Hilary and Opolot, this is very good. In my heart, I said, Madam, this is very... To make matters worse, she looked at me and said, Hilary, smell for us. I said, Madam, I will not smell. No, you just smell and tell us the findings. I said, you'll find for yourself. Me, I will not. No, you just, please. Opolot saw me say, Hilary, smell. I can't. You are the one who made it orange. You want me to smell? Opolot, you smell. If Hilary doesn't want Opolot, you smell. Opolot picked the test tube. Said, but Madam, just believe us. No, you just smell and tell us the findings of your experiment. Opolot got the test tube. Madam, you can see this one. Orange precipitate with a pungent, irritating smell. Opolot, is it irritating? Believe me, Madam, it is irritating. the pungent, irritating smell with the orange precipitate that has formed. Said, oh, that is very good. That is very good. Huh? You bring, I smell. Opolot said, Madam, just bill. No, you bring, this is very good. Opolot gave her the test tube. Class, this is what they call hydrogen sulfide mixed with lead. It is supposed to appear like this. I don't know why some of you have blue, or this is what I was looking for. It is the best used to. Let us clap for Okelo and Opolot. This is very good. This is one of the best. Is this what you mixed? Madam, that is what we mixed. Why am I smelling gonorrhea?
Thank you so much. My name is Dr. Hillary. Come and enjoy the rest of the night.